everybody, welcome back. It's Joe White here at Get Life Coaching, and welcome to another edition of Live Free. I wish you, and I hope that you're enjoying this holiday season for you, your friends, your family. You know, very often people ask me, how can I move forward when I don't know what's on the other side? And as soon as I hear that, see, my brain thinks code, because language is a huge part of, it's almost like an MRI to me. Because think about this, and it doesn't mean we have to always go around our lives being anal about what we say and how we say and phrasing everything perfect and the positive. You know, we'll waste so much energy doing that. But areas that we're stuck in, areas that we're hitting friction in, areas that we're struggling to produce the results that we want, language gives us a very accurate, it's almost like an MRI into not only what we think consciously, but really what we're feeling and representing unconsciously too. So when you hear that, when someone says, I can't move forward because I don't have enough clarity to move forward, immediately my BS meter goes off and I know what they want. They want certainty that no matter what changes they make, that they're going to be happy, satisfied, that they're going to be successful there, they're going to get their emotional needs met, they're going to be able to thrive in that. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, what's wrong with that? Well, absolutely nothing if life was created that way. Life is not black and white. Life has never been about black and white. Life is more about the tones, the hues, the shades. That's really the gradient factor of life, is what makes life so interesting, what makes life truly real. But we like to compartmentalize it. We like to make it black, make it white, make it right, make it wrong, make it red, make it blue. Because that makes sense. Because that's how we were educated. Think about this, right? We go first grade, we got pass the requirements, and then we get promoted to second grade, and then we pass those requirements, we go third grade, and there's always this nice clean break. We know where we stand at all times. We know that 69 is failing and 70 is passing. But the academic world lives that way, but life isn't that way. So when we hear people say, I don't know what I want, I don't have the clarity, it's code for they need certainty. But here's where we get hooked. We want certainty in an area that there's little to no certainty, not externally. So as long as we have that story, that reason why we can't change, or why we don't want to take action, or why it's not the right time to take action, then we never have to put ourselves out there and we never have to grow. So ultimately, it's about redefining why we think we need to go there. In other words, we have to define that certainty comes from within us. And we don't need that. It's great that we know that, and sometimes we do know it, and sometimes it's important for us to know it. Look, if you're going to buy a house, if you're going to buy a business, if you're going to invest money, you need some certainty. You need to do your research. But also, too, there's journeys in our lives that don't require that level of strategy, not to get it going. Maybe part of the way in there, maybe halfway through we need that strategy, but not to begin it. Hey, look, there's power in movement. So sometimes we just got to get off our butts and start moving. And then we can take movement and turn it into progress. But we don't get that opportunity when we're sitting on the bus and it's not going anywhere. And what I mean by that is, I think very often we think the vehicles, the buses that take us to where we want to go, we think it's one long route. It's a non-stop. Very seldom is it that way. I mean, buses are meant to take you to a point, and you get off the bus and get off somewhere else. And you go to the next bus and that takes you somewhere. Not every vehicle is meant to take you all the way through. So we feel like almost like an idiot sitting on a bus at the end of its run, expecting to go forward. I remember I was in Greece once. I did this. I didn't know it was the end. Okay? I got on the wrong bus, the wrong direction, and was sitting on this bus waiting. And all of a sudden, no one else is coming on. I'm the last person on the bus. So eventually I had to find someone who spoke some English, and they said, no, this is the end of the bus. It doesn't even turn around from here. It was the last run of the day. I had to get off the bus and walk somewhere else to get another bus to get back to where I was trying to get to. So vehicles sometimes are just meant to take us part of the way. We can't get hung up. We got to believe in that journey. And not to sound airy-fairy or positive development-ish, but it's true. See, it's not always knowing, but not knowing doesn't mean that we can't take action. And by taking action, we begin to realize what we want and what we don't want. And that gives us clarity. See, we get clarity by creating stronger and greater distinctions of what we want and what we don't want. But life is not a spectator sport. It's meant to be lived. And that's how we experience it viscerally, through our senses. And as we experience more, we learn even with greater clarity of what we want. So find that area where you're creating that story, or that you don't know enough. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe you want to learn something. Maybe you want to go back to and get some new education or start a new hobby. And it's not the right time. I don't know enough yet. What if this ain't right? What if you could push it all aside? What if you could believe in something greater than yourself? The journey, the adventure, the excitement. What kind of life would that create for you? That would be exciting. So I would love to hear your results. Feel free to email me, whitejoe@gmail.com. Easiest email to get a hold of me from. Until next time, have an amazing, amazing day. I wish you love and passion. I'm Joe White from Get Life Coaching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.